Hello everyone. Today I will talk about one issue in language learning, and that is student anxiety in speaking English. Let's go. Our discussion will be about background, definition, the causes of anxiety in speaking English, identifying anxiety, and recommendation. Let's go with the first one. The main objective of language learning in communication, the students are hoped to be able to communicate actively using the language. To reach this result, practice is always a good way. However, many students are anxious when asked to practice their language skill in front of other people. Anxiety has been found to interfere with many types of learning, but when it is associated with learning a second or foreign language, it is termed as second or foreign language anxiety. Consideration of learner anxiety reaction in learning to speak another language by a language teacher is deemed highly important in order to assist them to achieve the intended performance goals in the target language. Let's move on the next one. What is anxiety? Definition. According to Merriam-Webster dictionary, anxiety is apprehensive uneasiness or nervousness, usually over an impending or anticipated ill, while anxiety in the context of the foreign language classroom is a form of anxiety that is usually aroused by a certain type of situation. For example, in speaking a foreign language in a broader research context, language anxiety is a form of situational anxiety and emphasize that research on the topic should employ measures of anxiety experienced in specific second language contexts, for example, in classroom setting. Then, why does this emerge when someone is asked to speak English? The causes of anxiety in speaking English. There are a few causes of anxiety in foreign language learning, especially English, according to Howard. First, communication apprehension. A type of shyness characterized by fear of or anxiety about communicating with people. This also means the difficulty in speaking in groups, which also called oral communication anxiety or in public as known as stage fright or in listening to or learning spoken message are all manifestations of communication apprehension. Second, test anxiety. Test anxiety refers to a type of performance anxiety stemming from a fear of failure. Test anxiety students often put unrealistic demands on themselves and feel that anything less than a perfect test performance is a failure. The last one is fear of negative evaluation. Apprehension about others' evaluation, avoidance of evaluative situation, and the expectation that others would evaluate oneself negatively is a third anxiety related to foreign language learning. Although it is similar to test anxiety, fear of negative evaluation is broader in scope because it is not limited to test-taking situation. Rather, it may occur in any social, evaluative situation such as interviewing for a job or speaking in foreign language class. Moreover, Mutasiam and Fania said that most of students are being anxious when asked to speak in front of their teacher or the class without preparation. Next, identify anxiety. How do we know that the students are being anxious in the classroom? It can be said that the students are being anxious when they are being quiet, avoiding eye contact with the teacher, having small talk with their friend in their mother tongue, smiling or laughing too often. Sometimes they will also refuse when you ask them to say something even when you push them to do so. Some of the students will actually cry out of rage in the classroom. And the last one is recommendation. As a teacher, what should you do when dealing with the situation? According to Shipping and Paramasivam, not calling student name, making joke and stories, appreciating student answer, showing positive gesture. Meanwhile, Horwitz said you can help them learn to cope with the existing anxiety-provoking situation and make the learning context less stressful. Teacher has to make the classroom as comfortable as possible so the student will not be anxious to speak up in English class. As mentioned at the beginning, in order to reach the highest result of the learning, student anxiety should be taken into consideration. Teachers should learn how to identify them. Then lastly, they have to help the student to overcome it. Lastly, here are the resources for this material. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.